NVIDIA's CUDA moat is being rapidly eroded when it comes to chips. Between China and the United States, there isn't a significant gap. Once continuously learning is solved, the model will be able to iterate its own next generation versions by itself. And that is what we call Singularity. This is Curious Chinese School. Let's get down to the business. In July this year, DeepSeek has completed its first external financing round of over 6.94 billion US dollars, reaching a valuation of around 51.04 billion US dollars. It's not a big number, but it's the number first shown up in the market. At a recent invest meeting, founder Liang Wenfeng, this is the accurate Chinese pronunciation, Liang Wenfeng, spent nearly 4 hours frankly responding to all the questions almost that outside world really concerned about. But this meeting was internal. The full transcript of it just appeared on Chinese internet for a few days, maybe 100 hours. And now it is all gone, nowhere to find. I have no idea what happened. But before it is disappeared, I'm lucky. I just read all the text and summarized 3 key points to you. I just help you to know DeepSeek much more deeper. First point, computing power, chips, and China-US gap. Liang Wenfeng believes the true AI gap between China and United States is not about talent. Chinese genius in China versus Chinese genius in United States or Chinese world is a big difference. The inability to purchase enough cars domestically and capital investment that lags far behind the United States. That is the true fundamental bottleneck. He estimates that DeepSeek currently trails the top US level by about 12 months to 18 months. Yet the company has reached its current result with just 1/20 of the computing power used by its American counterparts. Going forward, he wants to narrow that time gap to 6 months, even 3. On scaling law, there's one remark that left a deep impression on me. When Silicon Valley says the scaling law has hit a ceiling, that's Silicon Valley's problem. For our Chinese company, we are still far from that ceiling. Oh, there is another one. We do not train a model of this scale just because I believe it's sufficient. Rather, it's a simply reflection of the resources we happen to have at our disposal. I calculate the maximum model size we can afford, meanwhile train based on our limited resources. It's by no means because we consider this scale to be adequate. Tough job, right? Liang Wenfeng definitely wants more computing power. More. It reminds me of a movie, Matrix, 1999. Oh, it's a long time. Neo said, guns, lots of guns. Liang Wenfeng is highly confident about the development of Chinese chips. He said, NVIDIA's CUDA moat is rapidly eroding because AI itself can help writing code and building ecosystems. He specifically mentioned Huawei's Alta's 950 SuperPod can fully replace NVIDIA's GB200, GB300, not only in the performance, but also in the price. Always about price, right? Now, Huawei 4 cards can match one NVIDIA card. The most difficult thing is not technology, but the production capacity. But Liang Wenfeng 100% believe the capacity issue will most likely be elevated within 5 years. AGI roadmap and Singularity. Liang Wenfeng breaks down the evolution of AGI into several very clear steps. First comes the language model, then chain of thought, then agent, followed by continuous learning, finally Singularity and embodied intelligence. He emphasized that no step is wasted. Agent relies on chain of thought. Chain of thought relies on the language model. They build on each other layer by layer. He believes today's AI still lacks one critical capability to replace all human employees, threatening continuous learning. If AI had that ability, that means it's just like human, just like your employee, spending 2 months, 3 months reading, absorbing every single data at your company. When everything is done, it can replace everyone. Once continuous learning is solved, the model will be able to iterate its own next generation versions on its own. Good thing. And that is what we call singularity. But Liang Wenfeng cautions that this singularity is not a sudden mutation, but a gradual process that may take a considerable amount of time. Under the guidance of this roadmap, DeepSeek focuses only on AGI mainline. As for popular directions like video generations, 3D generations, he explicitly stated that the company will not pursue them just because they are not directly related to the enhancement of intelligence. It reminds me an old Chinese saying, a general on the march never stop to chasing minor goblins. 将军赶路，不打小鬼. That means keep your eyes on the big picture. Never let trivial obstacles or insufficient people derail your main mission. 将军赶路，不打小鬼. Ultimately, AGI must move toward embodied intelligence just because humanity's real needs are in the physical world, such as doing household chores, elderly care, solving real-world labor problems, working in the factory, robots. But all comes just after continuous learning and singularity. So it's not rush. Now see, making big money, big picture, it's all about patience. Open source as the competitive strategy. Open source definitely is one of Liang Wenfeng's most resolute positions. He repeatedly emphasized that open source will not affect revenue, nor will it cause the company to lose their competitive edge. Otherwise, it lowers the barriers to everyone and help people to participate in building the ecosystem. He actually don't worry about the competitors using their models to compete with DeepSeek. He said, actually, we want them to deploy it. In terms of competitive strategies, Liang believes the ultimate gap between different players manifest only in three areas: cost, time, and user experience. Chinese companies will make the product the cheapest in the future. AI is just like the same. The low cost is like systematic, just like in the different industry where Chinese provide their service, their products are more affordable. But DeepSeek is earning money. They had the profits. Maybe it's not as much as the other American companies, but they are not playing a game called money burning. DeepSeek's API pricing only captures a reasonable profit, roughly recouping the hardware costs in about 10 months. If the goal was chasing the profit maximization, the price could be doubled, since user demand is inelastic in the range. But the team chooses not to do so. He acknowledged that the stakes in AI are enormous. Once you get succeed, even a small slice is far more than enough. But right now is not a good time to worry too much about how to divide it or how we can get more. Finally, he drew his own conclusion. My priority is how to increase the probability of success, the AGI, the real success, not how to get a larger share. Big picture, AGI. Again, finally, I want to say something. It's my own opinion. If you want to make more money to support you changing your life, the most important thing is trend. You see the trend, you recognize that, you believe that, and gain that, be part of it. Even like Liang Wenfeng, make the trend to reality. And survive, of course. If you do that, you can change your life. I'm a Shanghaiist. I was born in Shanghai. In 1990s, the central part of Shanghai, the house is very cheap. Costs around like 50,000 yuan. It's very cheap. And if you buy, no matter size, no matter possession, if you buy it, you buy some and you hold that, sell it in this year, 100 times. Again, 100 times. Maybe DeepSeek AI is the next 100 times change. So what do you think about that? And thank you for watching the video. This is the first English video. As you can see, my first language Chinese. So anything about Chinese business, Chinese culture, Chinese history you want to talk about, just let me know. And the journey continues. See you next time.